First, I like to introduce myself. I'm Novita and I will host you for today's event. Now, me welcome our special guest for today. Welcome to the Honorable Dr. Joseph Teguh Santoso as a Rector of STEKOM University, Indonesia. To the Honorable Dr. Shanky Goyal as a first presenter, Associate Professor, Chandigarh Engineering College from India. To the second speaker, Dr. Migunani, as a head of Information System Department from STEKOM University, Indonesia. And last, Mr. Kyrylo Ohdanskiy, as an associate professor of Department of Economy and Economic Security from University Custom and Finance. And last but not least, also to the honorable guests and audience today. Okay, before we begin, I have a few housekeeping notes here. Today's session is being streamed on the Universitas Tekom YouTube channel. And for today's event, we will start with Indonesia National Anthem and continue with the main event presentation by our special guest today and continue with the Q&A session. Take a picture for documentation and last time is closing. Okay, first we will sing our national anthem for the Mr. Abdullah. You can start. Thank you. Okay, thank you. And we will go to the main event for our audience. If you have any question for the speaker, please add them to the chat or you can raise your hand and we'll be able to answer some of the during the Q&A session after each presenter already presentation. And right now, please welcome our first presenter, Dr. Shanky Goyal from Katikat School College. Oh, yeah, the time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Navita. I'm continuing to share my PPT. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope so I'm audible and my PPT is visible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Navita. So today we are here for the webinar on digital privacy, cybersecurity, and data protection in the landscape. These three are the most critical issue of the digital era. Whether you are we are a student, we are a teacher, or we are any working professional. So these topic affects basically our personal life on daily basis, right? So think about how often basically we use our mobile phone, checking messages, browsing social media, making payments at every time, right? Or we are also assessing the cloud storage. So every one of these activities generates the data, and this data has a value. And whenever there is a value, there is also a risk. So if the person is not having a value or anything, any data is not having a value, so there will be not any kind of the risk. But obviously, when there is some useful data, only then risk also comes with that. That's why there is a need to understand the privacy, cyber threats, and the data protection is a mandatory thing. It's not an optional thing. It is mandatory thing of our life, right? So first the thing is we have to understand what is digital privacy. So digital privacy is basically we will say that it's a right of everyone that how a personal information is collected, used, and shared in our digital era, right? So with the there is a need to right to control our personal information that we are sharing over the internet, right? So this basically include how to data is collected, why it is collected, and who can access it, and how long it is stored, right? So we get any kind of the link and we immediately fill our all the details and share with the person. So when we are applying for any a credit card, we think that we are not going to apply, we are just doing it to fill the form and all that, but that data is basically going somewhere, that is going in the internet, right? Earlier, what happens, privacy was just about the physical spaces, our homes, diaries, our money that keeps in our pockets and all that, and our personal conversations, right? We think that no one should listen that and everything. But today, privacy is mostly about the data, right? Your browsing history, online searches, locations, photos, voice recordings, even our typing patterns are the forms of personal data. So many people understanding how valuable this data is. Everyone is sending or transferring his data over the internet. We are keeping our mobile phones data over the cloud. Our photos are over the cloud. Even we are using various apps that are transferring our money from one account number to the another account number. So this data is basically used for targeting the advertising, personalizing, recommendation, and the commercial papers that we are thinking that our cookies and all that are basically using for that particular purpose. So how companies are collecting this data? Companies are collecting this data in various ways that is often invisible to the users. Cookies tracks which websites you visit. Mobile apps ask for the permissions to access your camera. Definitely, you have seen that when we are downloading any kind of app or is something in our mobile, it definitely either that is Google Map also. It will it will ask us to take access to our gallery, our camera, our microphone, contacts, or locations. So analytical tools basically monitor how long you stay on a page and what you click. While companies argues that this data improves services and personalizations, the real issue is that users really understand the full extent of data collection, right? So most people simply click accept to save time, unknowingly giving permission for extensive data usage, right? So there is a need of some privacy that when we have to send this data to the persons, right? So when we talk about the erosion of privacy, the first thing is that data collection. Individuals are not fully aware of the extent to which their data is being collected and how it is being used. It's a very normal example. Like when we apply somewhere, when we fill out a journal form, we just try out something, but where the data is going on, we are not aware about it. So when the data is collected rapidly from different platforms, it creates a detailed digital profile. Even the small pieces of information like shopping habit, search history can be combined to reveal sensitive details such as health conditions, income levels, personal beliefs. This is called the data aggregation. So the danger is not one app collecting the data, but many apps and the platform collecting data together and linking it. Second one is the reduced expression. When people feels they are constantly being watched online and they start limiting what they say or share. This is known as the chilling effect, right? So, for example, a student may hesitate to express opinion on social media, or a citizen may avoid discussing political issues online. Over time, this reduces the freedom of expression, creativity, and democratic participation. Third thing is the discrimination risk. Data-driven decisions are increasingly used in hiring, banking, insurance, education, credit cards. If the algorithm use the biased data, they may unfairly discriminate against individual or groups. So, for instance, a person might be denied a loan, right? Because of their online behavior or social connection. This shows that privacy violation can directly affect real life opportunities. So, if we are not filling the data, then also we will face the challenge. And if we are filling the data, then also we will face the challenge. So, the thing is, why digital privacy matter? Right. So, digital privacy is protect the human dignity and autonomy. It is essential for protecting our freedom of expression, right? What we are going to express, we basically put on our blogs, we put general information, we put some kind of comments also we give to the something. So if we will not give, so we will bind up ourselves that we should be get freedom to express these things, right? So when individuals feel that their privacy is being violated, and they may be less likely to express their opinion and engage in online activities or participate in the democracy processes. It is important to understand that privacy is not about hiding the wrongdoing, right? If we are doing something wrong and we have to just hide it, it's not like that. It is about protecting lawful personal life, ensuring fairness, and preventing misuse of personal data for manipulation or discrimination. Not for the using. It is for the when the people are manipulating our data, they are using that for making it wrong way, right? So basically, what are the pros and cons for this data collection? Pros are like targeted ads. That's good for us. Like personalized ad, enhance the user experience and increase the engagement. Means today you have all of you have used the Facebook, Instagram. When we like something, it basically get that data that what kind of things we like it, and corresponding to that, it shows us that kind of ads to us. Personalized recommendation, it gives us that kind of the recommendation if it know about us, if it know that what kind of interest we are getting out. So it basically give that kind of the recommendation. Commercial benefit, it basically increase in the business review growth because we like that, and corresponding to that we get the recommendations also, right? So there are benefit of that. Other than that, but definitely there are some cons also. Privacy cons, right? Unawareness of data collection raises privacy bias. Means we at the back end, we are not aware that who else is collecting that data, right? Sensitive data exposure means the aggregate data can expose sensitively, lack of transparency, lack of clarity on data usage, and determines the user trust, right? So which one, who one is using data, who one is collecting the data. If we are clicking on anyone's profile, so that who are that person who are taking that kind of data. Multiple persons are getting that our recommendations or something. So they are also using that kind of data. So both things are working out that particular place, right? So there is a cybercrime is basically a growing threat right now, right? Cybercrime refers to the criminal activities that carrying out using digital system, right? as a society becomes more digital, cyber crimes has increased rapidly. Cyber criminals can operate from anywhere in the world, right? Often without physical contact with the victim. This makes cybercrime difficult to detect and control. It can be anyone. It can be for the individual also. It can be government also. It can be organization also. Anything. Like if we will cybercrime threats to whom we get as an individual, we also get the threats that our maybe you have. I have faced the issue that my LinkedIn profile get used by someone else, so he has cracked there. So I need to create that. I need to create another profile. I have to lock my previous one. The government faces the definitely at the various level, like defense at the defense level, national security level, infrastructure level. They got so many attacks at the daily basis, right? Organizations, it can be the company, it can be educational institute, it can be anything. There can be financial issues, and then definitely the reputation damage comes at their end, right? So what kind of the cyber crimes generally happening? So the first one is the hacking. Hacking basically involves the unauthorized access to the computer systems or networks. Hackers exploits weak address passwords, outdated softwares, or system misconfigurations. So see, hackers cannot work if we will properly configure our system. We have implement the layers of protection in our system, then definitely they will not hack out our system, but definitely some lacking happens at our end also. So the when the hackers get the access, hackers can steal our data, they can alter the informations, they can disrupt our services. Even a small vulnerability can lead to the large scale damage, right? Another type of cybercrime is a phishing. Phishing attacks basically trick users into sharing the sensitive information by pretending to be trusted organization. You have heard about that duplicate sites, right? Of the same flipkart.com, instead of flipkart.com, they will change a minor word and it will do the different thing. We basically enter our password. It will look similar kind of the website, but what we will do, we will enter our username and password, and that will go to the phishing site, and they will hack out that, right? Third one is the like malware and the ransomware. So malware is basically a software designed to harm the systems or steal the data. So ransomware is particularly dangerous. It encrypts the files and demands the payments. You will not be able to open even your own file, right? So similarly, in the ransomware, malwares encrypt the and demand the payment for the decryptions. Hospitals, schools, government offices are frequent target because downtime can be critical and costly for these kind of the organizations. What is basically impact of cyber crimes on individuals? Individuals basically affected by the cybercrime may suffer the identity theft, financial losses, emotional stress, and long-term privacy damage, right? You have heard about the if someone hack your Facebook, someone hack to your LinkedIn, so they will send multiple messages to your friend circle to you, and they will they also demand some kind of the payment that I am having these kind of problem, please pay me. And sometimes people has paid that also. So that is basically the impact of cybercrime on the persons. So when the personal data is leaked, it can circulate for years, making it almost impossible to fully recover, right? And when we talk about the impact of cybercrime on organizations, organization basically faces the reputation loss, है ना? Legal penalties, loss of the customer trust. That is the main important part of the organizations. A single cyber incident can disrupt their operations and take years to recover that. So data protection safeguard the personal information. So data protection focuses on ensuring the personal data is collected and used responsibly. It basically combines the legal rules, ethical principles, and technical safeguards to protect individuals and organizations. So when we talk about the personal data laws and safeguards, governments basically create the data protection laws to regulate how the data is handled. These law basically requires the organizations to use the encryption, access control, and secure storage. They have make it like the student data cannot be leaked with the other organizations or something else, right? So they have given that kind of the implementation. So laws are implemented across the nations, across the areas, and it requires a coordination also among the different countries also when we are sharing about the information about our employees, our organizations, or something else, right? So the next thing is international cooperation. When we talk about the cyber threats or cyber crime, so there is a need of the global level cooperation also against these cyber threats, right? So first thing is the common standards. Establish some kind of guidelines for the data protections, right? So cyber crimes basically crosses the national borders. An attacker in one country can target victim globally, right? So therefore, international cooperation is essential for sharing the intelligence, coordinating investigation, and developing the we will say the common standards. So there is need of some kind of the international level law enforcement and agencies that basically set out the laws to so that if the criminal has shifted from the India to somewhere else, so the government should be give the flexibility that you can come and they also provide some kind of the flexibility and support so that that criminal can find out and we can take it, right? So there is need of the coordinating investigation between them also. So next thing is the best practices for the organizations. So organizations can adopt the various best practices to enhance their digital privacy and the data protection. So they should use the strong security measures, like they can implement the protocols to protect the data from unauthorized access and breaches. There should be transparent privacy policies between the all the stakeholders, right? There should be an informed consent, employees training regarding data protection. Already if you have heard if you know that when we join any kind of company or organization, there are some rules and regulation that on which we have signed that we will not share our any kind of email, our any kind of the document with the other organization. We will not share. So there should be some kind of the employee training at what level they can use their softwares, on at what level they can transfer the data to the other people's or their personal email IDs and that kind of thing. There can be a regular audit in the companies that should measure out that there are some kind of the risk is happening, or they can identify the vulnerabilities in that particular thing. So there is individual rights, provide individuals with the right to access the correct and delete their personal data. So there is need of creating a secure digital future. A secure digital future requires the cooperations among the individuals, organizations, and government. So trust is the foundation of digital systems, and without trust, digital growth cannot be sustained. You know that we all are on digital life today. Our identification is with government, our account numbers is with the bank. So everything is over the internet and everything, right? So these organizations should provide us a complete security over the this particular all the details, right? So together we can build a digital world where privacy is protected, security is paramount, and trust is restored. Digital footprint and user awareness. So every online activity leaves a digital footprint. This includes the both active actions like post and passive data, like browsing history. Managing this footprint is essential for protecting the privacy. Simple habit. such as using the strong password, enabling two-factor authentications, and avoiding suspicious link can significantly reduce the cyber risk. Awareness is the first line of the defense, right? So be before giving any permission or any to the mobile app, we have to give the limited access to the sensitive information like our locations, contact or photos. We should not be say okay to each and every application that yes, you can use our this app, you can use our this data. We have to use some browsing habits also. While keeping the password, we generally keep it our date of birth, our name and all that. We have to use some kind of dual authentication in that case, like with the there should be some messages or OTP should come in of my mobile or somewhere, only then the authenticate. Even my password has been correct, still it will not be able to access my account, right? So educate ourselves to common phishing attacks, social engineering techniques to avoid the falling victim to online fraud and the theft. So what is the role of artificial intelligence in privacy and cybercrime? So AI can be used by the cyber criminals for deepfakes and automated attacks. Today, you have seen a lot of videos that can be generated using the AI. They are using our faces, they are using our photographs to do that. So, AI helps defenders to detect these threats and respond the faster. So, ethic use of AI is critical. So, we have to use AI to automate the things that something incident is happening, so you have to be aware about that. We immediately give the responses, so we can use the AI to find out these kind of the cyber crimes also. So there are various case studies are available over the world that can tell us about the data breaches like LinkedIn, Yahoo, Equifax. There are so many case studies are available with. So the Yahoo breach affected the billions of users, highlighted the failure in security and delayed disclosure. This case shows the importance of transparency and accountability, right? When we talk about the Equifax and Marriott, Equifax exposed the sensitive identity data, while Marriott exposed the travel and passport information. These incident emphasizes the need for the timely patching and the strong governance in this. Cybertime life cycle. So there are various stages for the attacks, helping developing effective defense strategies and anticipation. So cyber attacks follow the stages like first one is a reconnaissance, then initial access, then movement, and finally the executions. Right. So attacker firstly what they do basically gather the intelligence on targets to identify vulnerabilities and potential and means where they can attack out. They firstly find out that. Then they get the unauthorized entry through hacking, through phishing, through malwares or something. Uh, they put some kind of software or patches also, existing software patches in the form of, right? Then they silently they come in your network and find and present in your network and actually get the activities that are going in your network. And then finally they take the action on your files, on your system and everything. Then there is a privacy, national security, the digital dilemma, right? So basically, government argue that surveillance is necessary for security, while citizens demands the privacy, right? Like what we do for the authentication, they definitely if during the time after 6 months 8 months they ask for the identification authentication of your documents and all that, but we were fed up that why everyone KRA, why there is need of all these things every time we have to give the documents and all that, but we have to support them. If we want our privacy, our security, then definitely we have to go with them. We have to understand that, right? So there is a need of privacy. Government argue that surveillance is necessary for security, while citizen demand the privacy. The challenges lies in balancing the safety with civil liberties through the legal oversight, right? So basically why they require the security to protect the critical nations if infrastructure investigation, the serious criminal activities, terrorism and cyber attack. And individual digital rights are the right to personal data protection and autonomy, freedom of expression without fear and constant monitoring, preventing government overreach and potential abuse of power. The next thing is the data protection in the cloud. Cloud security follows a shared responsibility model. Providers secure infrastructure, users secure data, and access encryption and proper configurations are essential for this particular purpose, right? Cyber crime, the target sector. If, today, everywhere is a cybercrime target. Is the healthcare, government and defense, banking, finance, education institute. Everywhere is the cyber attack is a problem. So digital privacy challenge in developing countries. So there is a lot of challenges the country are facing. The first thing is there is a low awareness and the education, right? There is a weak legal and enforcement frameworks, high mobile and social media penetrations, lack of cybersecurity skills and the infrastructure. That's why they are facing the issues. So key rights of the Indian citizens are the Indian DPD Act strengthen the citizens' rights and enforce the constant data processing. It is a major step toward the global data protection, the standard. Right? So there are some future trends in the cybersecurity privacy, zero trust architecture, privacy by design, quantum threats, and decentralized identity system will shape in the future. So there will be something going on that in which they will not be asked for the location, and they will not be asked for the device other apps also. So that is basically going in the cyber security and the privacy part. So the sorry, and thank you so much. If any query, please ask.
Yeah, thank you so much for your presentation, Dr. Shanky. And we have a first question from participant. What are the biggest challenge facing developing country, including Indonesia, in implementing data protection and cybersecurity system on par with those of developed country? Thank you.
Just a second. Let me see. What are the biggest challenges facing developing countries, including in implementing data protection and cybersecurity on with these developed countries? Definitely, the basic issues the countries are facing the education and the skills and the latest means people not believe that these kind of things can happen. Someone come and told them that you just do this, you just fill out this form, and they trust them and they fill out that form. They are not aware about that these things can be happen and these things can scam out, and there can be issue with the people. They because they know that they can use the digital payments and OTP will come and they give that OTP to that persons. So education and the skill are the main issues that the developing countries are facing. That's why these things, cyber threats are happening in these kind of the countries. So the second question is, in the digital economic era, how can personal data protection ensure the business innovation and growth without compromising the individual privacy right? That's why if you will see the apps that needs your digital privacy and all, they go with the authentication purpose on the regular basis, and we have to follow that authentication. Means on a regular basis after 6 months or 8 months, when the government says that you have to submit your documents and all that, we have to do that. And if we will say the growth, and we have to register our companies for the this one for authentication purpose. And if the organizations are authenticated, only the businesses growth can be happen, and we have to, as a customer, we have to trust only on that businesses that are authenticated by the government. What are the main challenges of law enforcement against cybercrime when the perceptor, server, and victims are in different countries? even that are in different companies. That's why we have talked about the global collaboration, because if there will be global collaboration, only then the we can work out like that. There will be some centralized level of laws should be enforced at our government, plus at the government in the different countries. There should be some kind of a centralized there is a World Health Organization. Similarly, for this cybercrime, there should be some kind of the laws that should be there should be organization that can implement the laws in the global level.
Okay, thank you. I guess no one else asking again, ma'am.
Thank you so much,
Yeah, thank
Naveen.
you so much. And we will go to the second speaker, Dr. Migunani, as a head information system department. Yeah, yeah, you can start. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Migunani, and today I'm here to talk about something that is increasingly critical to all of us: cybersecurity. Our title today is Cybersecurity Protecting Data in a Connected World, a topic relevant to both our professional and personal lives. Our goal today is to build the foundational knowledge to defend against evolving cyber threat and ensure our data privacy. Okay, to begin, let's map the digital battlefield we currently navigate. The cybersecurity landscape is no longer a niche corner of the tech world. It has evolved into a fundamental and rapidly expanding arena that underpins our global society. The first one, the scale of the digital ecosystem, fertile ground for opportunity and reach. In 2023, we are over 4.9 billion internet users worldwide. This massive user base creates an interconnected digital ecosystem that transcends geographical boundary and time zones, serving as the backbone of the global economy, social communities, and critical infrastructure. The staggering financial costs, the price of complacency, where there are crowd, there is risk. The global cost of cybercrime was estimated at a staggering 8 trillion in 2023. This figure is astronomical on its own, but its projected growth is even more alarming. It is expecting to reach 10.5 trillion by 2025. The human factor, the weakest link and the first line of defense. Perhaps the most shocking statistic is that 95% of data breaches are caused by human error. Yes, nearly all incidents can be traced back to our action, whether unintentional or due to a lack of awareness. This can range from clicking a phishing link and using a weak password to accidentally sharing sensitive information. Evolving technology expanding the attack surface. This challenge is compounded by emerging technology like the Internet of Things, IoT, cloud computing, and the remote work trend. Every connected IoT device, every cloud service adopted, and every employee working from an unsecure home network effectively widens the attack surface for malicious actors. Multifaceted consequence beyond financial loss. The impact of the cyber attack extend far beyond financial loss. The consequences are multifaceted and devastating. The first one is reputational damage. the loss of customer trust can be more catastrophic than the immediately financial loss and can take years to rebuild. Legal penalties, data protection regulation are becoming increasingly strict, such as GDPR in Europe and personal data protection law in Indonesia. Violation can result in massive fines. Threat to national security. Cyber attack on a critical infrastructure such as power grid, financial system, or healthcare service can disrupt societal stability and even endanger lives. Okay, face it with the complex threat landscape. Passivity is not an option. We must proactively equip ourselves with the right knowledge and skills. The goal is not merely to be aware, but to master the art of digital defense. This is a journey toward building cyber resilience that starts with every single individual. To achieve this, we need to adopt a multi-layer approach that combines foundational knowledge, proactive vigilance, and cultural transformation. The first one is mastering the fundamental. This is building a solid foundation. The first step is to understand the core principle of cybersecurity. Without a strong foundation, any strategy we build will be vulnerable. Discuss beyond memorizing key. It's about comprehending why each principle is critical. The second one is becoming a digital detective, that is recognizing threat and vulnerabilities. When we have foundation, we must train our sense to recognize danger. We need to be able to identify common threats and system vulnerabilities before attacker can exploit them. This means shifting from a passive defense posture to one of active vigilance. And the third one is applying a proactive shield, that is effective protection strategy. Knowledge without action is useless. The next step is to apply effective protection strategy to safeguard our data and system proactively. This is about building the shield before the arrow fly, not after. And the fourth one is cultivating the security culture. That is the transformation into an intrinsic value. Most importantly, we must foster a security culture, but organizationally and individually. This is the pinnacle of the cybersecurity approach, where awareness is no longer a policy to be remembered, but a value to be alive. Okay, if you are new in the field of cybersecurity, there is no core concept. There is one core concept you must understand as the absolute foundation. We call it the SAIE triad. SAIE is an acronym for the three core principles that guide all resilient and effective cybersecurity strategy. Together, concern to protect digital assets in a comprehensive manner. C is for confidentiality. The first pillar is confidentiality, which ensure the sensitive information is accessible only to authorized individuals. This is essence of privacy in the digital world. And the second one is I is for integrity. The second pillar is integrity, which guarantee the information remain accurate, complete, and trustworthy throughout its life cycle. This means the data has not been altered, deleted, or corrupted in an unauthorized manner. And the third one is A. A is for availability. The final pillar is availability, which assure that our system, application, and data remain accessible to authorized users whenever they are needed. This concept is crucial for business continuity and public services. To ensure we were speaking the same language when discussing cybersecurity, it's crucial to clarify a few key terms. Understanding this concept is more than just expanding your vocabulary. It's empower us to recognize, analyze, and communicate effectively about the various danger in the digital. Let's break them down in a logical sequence that illustrate how a security incident can occur. The first one is vulnerability, that is the weak spot in your defense. It all starts with a vulnerability. This is a weakness, gap, or deficiency in our security system, which could be a software, hardware, or even a human process that can be exploited by an unauthorized party. And second one is threat. There is the potential danger alert. Next, we have a threat. This is the potential danger that can take advantage of vulnerability. A threat can be an actor like a hacker, cyber criminal, or a malicious insider, or an event like a denial of service attack or a self-propagating malware. And the third one is attack factor. That is the pathway for the intruder. When a threat meets a vulnerability, they connect through an attacker factor. This is the specific method or pathway an attacker uses to gain unauthorized access to a system. It's the how the threat exploit the vulnerability. One is the consequence of the chain of event. This is a risk. This is the potential for loss or damage when a threat successfully exploits a vulnerability through an attack factor. Simply put, risk is the likelihood of the threat succeeding multiplied by an impact of the resulting harm. Okay, we turn again to the human factor. For it is here that the paradox of cybersecurity lies. The human element is the most vulnerable link in our defense. Yet it is also the strongest fortress we can build. No matter how sophisticated that the technology, it is ultimately operated by humans who are fallible. Let's dissect the anatomy of risk originating from the human side. This is what the first one is social engineering. That is the art of psychological manipulation. This is the art of human hacking. Attacker understand that manipulating a person's psychology is often easier and more effective than breaching sophisticated technical defense. The exploiters fear courtesy or sense of urgency to deceive victim into vulnerability, divulging sensitive information or performing action that compromise security. The second one is insider threat. That is the danger from within. This threat originates from within an organization, from individual, be they employees, contractor, or business partner, who already have legitimate access to system and data. This threat is particularly dangerous because these individuals have intimate knowledge of the company internal working. And the third one is cognitive and behavioral vulnerability, that is innate human weaknesses. This is the root of the problem. This vulnerability is as simple as a lack of the threat awareness, the tendency to ignore security warning because they are perceived as an annoyance, or feeling pressured by a sense of urgency fabricated by an attacker. What is the solution? Building a resilient human fortress is the solution. To overcome this challenge, we need a holistic and sustainable approach. The solution is not merely a set of policies, but a cultural transformation. Comprehensive education is the first one. This is the foundation. Every individual must understand why security is important and how to work. There is just annual presentation. It is ongoing, really fun, and interactive training. And the next is awareness programs. There is education must be reinforced with continuous awareness program. This can include regular phishing simulation, periodic reminder, poster, or visual communication that make security a daily topic and conversation. And the next is fostering a security culture. This is the ultimate goal. A security culture is achieved when every person, from the CAO to the intern, feel a personal sense of responsibility for security. It's an environment where people feel comfortable reporting incident without fear of blame, where security is viewed as a part of the job, not an obstacle. It's the information is the transformation from an obligation to a value. Okay, the attacker arsenal. There is a deeper look into malware. Let's get a bit more technical and explore the attacker arsenal. Malware, short for malicious software. This is not a single weapon, but an entire arsenal of various malicious programs. It's designed for a specific purpose. Understanding this uh, different type is a crucial step in building the right defense. The first one is viruses. Is the self-replicating intruder. Through their biological namescapes, computer viruses are malicious code that are propagated by attaching themselves to legitimate program or files. A virus cannot activate or spread on its own. It requires human action, such as running an infected file to replicate and impact other systems. And the second one is ransomware. There is the digital kidnapper. This is the type of malware that frequently makes headline. Ransomware works by encrypting all the files and data on a victim computer, rendering them inaccessible. And then the attacker demands a ransom, its money, typically in a cryptocurrency, in exchange for the decryption key. The most famous example is WannaCry, which encrypted hospital, business, and government agency worked in 2017. And the third one is spyware. There is the silent spy in your system. True to its name, spyware is software that constantly runs in the background to steal sensitive information. Its goal is specific to harvest data without the user knowledge. This can include a keylogger to capture password, a stealer that gather browser data to access browsing history, or software that collect user personal information. And the next is a Trojan. That is the modern day Trojan horse. Much like the legendary Trojan horse, this malware disguises itself as a legitimate and useful software like a game, a system update, or a utility of application to trick the user into willingly installing it. However, one installer, a Trojan, infiltrates the system and create a backdoor for the attacker. Okay, unmasking the tuning tactic of phishing and social engineering, that is the attacker mind gateway. Let's truly dissect one of the most dangerous and prevalent tactic in cybersecurity, like phishing and social engineering. This isn't This is an technical attack that breaches firewall or break encryption. It is a psychological attack that targets our weakest link, the human element. This is a way. This technique is the master key for attacker. capable of opening any door, no matter how strong the technical defense. The first one is standard phishing. There is a casting, a white net. This is the most basic form. Standard phishing is like casting a massive net into the ocean, hoping to catch as many fish as possible. Attacker and our mass email or message designed to look like they're coming from the legitimate institution, like a bank, a shipping company, or a streaming services. In the next is spear phishing. That is the deadly targeted attack. If standard phishing is a net, the spear phishing is a sniper rifle. This attack is far more dangerous because it's highly personalized and specifically targeted at an individual or organization. Attackers do their homework first, gathering information from social media or company website to craft a convincing message. And the next is expanding the battlefield. That is a phishing and smishing. Attackers aren't limited to email. They are any communication channel you use. Phishing is attack over the phone. An attacker might pretend to be from your bank or a tax agency and try to fish for information by creating a sense of panic or authority. And smishing, there is SMS phishing, attack via text messages. They often contain shortened link and on urgent message like your package has an issues. Click here to reschedule delivery. On a small mobile screen, it's harder to verify the legitimacy of a link. Okay, attacking the foundation. There is a threat at the network and system level. Beyond targeting human, attacker also launch highly sophisticated strike directly against our technical infrastructure, the network and the system themselves. These are attacks that don't manipulate psychology, but instead exploit fundamental weaknesses in how our systems are connected and operate. The first one is DDoS, denial of services, that is flooding the gates. This attack work like flooding a store with fake shoppers, preventing any real customer from getting in. Technically, an attacker used a network of compromised computers called a botnet to send a massive volume of traffic to a server or a website. The server become our helm, trying to handle all these fake requests, ultimately crashes and causes the service to become unavailable to legitimate user. The second one is man in the middle attack or mid-M. That is eavesdropping on the conversation. Imagine an attacker secretly eavesdropping on the conversation between you and your bank. This is what happened in the man in the middle attack. The attacker position themselves between the two communicating party, secretly intercepting and possibly even altering the data being exchanged. This method is often exploited and unsecured public Wi-Fi network where traffic is not encrypted. And the third one is zero-day exploit. There is a breaching a non-existent defense. This is the nightmare scenario for any security team. A zero-day is an attack that exploit a software vulnerability that is unknown to the software developer because the vulnerability is zero-day newly discovered. No patch or fix is yet available. Okay, building your personal fortress, practicing effective cybersecurity hygiene, the answer to protecting yourself in a threat filled digital world lies in personal security hygiene. Think of it as brushing your teeth or washing your hand in the digital realm. These are small habits that, when practiced consistently, have a massive impact on maintaining your digital security. This is a checklist. It is about building your personal fortress of defense. Let's break down the foundation of the fortress into several key pillars. Uh, the first one pillar is securing your digital identity. That is authentication. This is the main gate to your digital world. If this gate is weak, it doesn't matter how strong the rest of your defense are. The first one is use strong, unpredictable password. The old rule of a mix, a letter and number is no longer sufficient. The modern criteria for a strong password are length, a minimum of 12 until 16 character. Length is a primary defense against the brute force attack. And next is complexity, combine uppercase letter, lowercase letter, number, and symbol. Unpredictability. Avoid personal information like birth dates, pet names, or dictionary words. And additional insight. Instead of a random, hard to remember password, considering using a paraparser. For example, elephant still stand on grass in 2024. Its length makes it incredibly strong. Well, its logical structure makes it easier for you. The next is never reuse password. This is the most critical mistakes many people make. Using the same password for your email, banking, and social media. It's like giving one master key to open your house, car, and safe. If one account is breaches, all your other account will fall like dominoes. And the next is use a password manager. Two logical question is, how am I supposed to remember all those unique, complex password? The answer is done. Let a reputable password manager like a Bitwarden, One Password, or KeePass do it for you. And the next is active multi-factor authentication. Activated multi-factor authentication or MFA. This is the single most important layer of defense you must enable wherever it's available, especially for email and banking. MFA adds a second verification step after you enter your password. It's based on the principle of something you know, your password, plus something you have, a code from an app, a physical token, or your fingerprinting. And second pillar is securing your device and data. Your fortress is useless if its own walls are weak. Maintain device security. Your device, laptop, phone are the physical gateway to your digital world. Make sure this gateway is locked. Uh, you use a system update. Always install update for your operating system like a Windows, Mac OS, or iOS, or Android, and other software as soon as possible. This update often contains security patches for a newly discovered vulnerability. Use antivirus software. Use reputable antivirus or anti-malware solution to detect a block threat trying to get onto your device. Additionally, delaying update is like leaving a crack in your fortress will open. Attacker actively exploit vulnerability that have already been fixed in update, so ignoring them is an unnecessary risk. And use enable full disk encryption. This feature, like a BitLocker on Windows or FileVault on macOS, scramble all data on your hard drive, making it unreadable without your password or description key. Decryption key. If personal security, hygiene is the foundation, then for organization, we must build entire fortress. This means implementing a robust cybersecurity control and a clear incident response plan. This is no longer about individual habits, but about system and processes designed to protect the entire organization from complex and coordinated threats. The blueprint covers four key pillars, three proactive pillars to prevent attack, and one reactive pillar to manage the aftermath when attack does occur. The proactive pillar is building a layer defense. These are the steps to strengthen our fortress before the attacker arrives. The first one is access control. That is limiting the damage with the principle of least privilege. The principle states that every user or system should only be granted access to the data and results they absolutely need to perform their job function, nothing more. This is implemented through a rule-based access management where permissions are assigned according to the person's role within the company. And the second one is the network security, that is guarding the gate and corridor. Your network is the information highway of your organization. Securing it is not negotiable. This involves deploying several layers of defense like a firewall, virtual private network, and IDS or IPS, intrusion detection and prevention system. These are your digital security camera and alarm system. An IDS monitor the network for suspicious activity, while an IPS proactively block that activity. And the other one is data protection. That is safeguarding your most valuable asset. Data is the new currency. Protecting it both at rest on a server and in transit moving across the network is paramount. Use encryption. Use strong encryption algorithm like ICE to render data unreadable to unauthorized party, even if they manage to steal it. And the next in the 3-2-1 backup rule. This is the industry standard for data resilience. Keep 3 copies of your data and 2 different types of media, like server and tape backup, and ensure 1 copy is stored offsite to protect against physical disaster like a fire or flood. And the active pillar is the incident response plan that is acting when crisis strikes. No defense is 100% perfect. Therefore, having a clear plan for when an attack occurs is just important and prevention. This is a playbook that incident response team must know by heart. This plan should cover the following phase. The first one is detection. How do we know an attack is happening? And the second was containment. How do we stop the bleeding? And the next is eradication. How do we completely remove the threat? And the next is recovery. How do we return to normal business operation? And the last is lesson learned. There is a post-mortem. What did the learn? How can we prevent this from happening again? This is a crucial path for turning a failure into a learning opportunity and strengthening future defense. And the next is mitigating a security risk in remote work. The remote work trend has fundamentally changed the cybersecurity landscape. The traditional office perimeter, one fortified by firewalls and physical walls, has dissolved. The office is now anywhere from an employee kitchen to a local coffee shop. To secure this distributed environment, we must adopt an entirely new and more proactive strategy. The first one is securing the connection. There is a building an encrypted tunnel. The first and most obvious threat come from the work environment itself. Home Wi-Fi network are open, wireless, secure, then corporate network with a weak password, vulnerability IoT or Internet of Things. device like a smart camera or speaker and other family member using the same connection. Even worse, using public Wi-Fi for sensitive work is like shouting company secret in a crowded room. And the second one is protecting every endpoint. That is security at your fingertips. In the remote work model, the security parameter has shifted to the device itself. Every laptop, phone, or tablet that accesses corporate results, we can no longer rely on a central network security to protect unmanaged device. And the third one is implementing a zero trust architecture. That is a never trust, always a verify. The old security model operated on a trust but a verify basis if you were already inside the network. In the remote work R, this model is dangerously outdated. We must shift to the zero trust paradigm. Securing the cloud and the connection world, that is the challenge of cloud and IoT security, two other technology that have revolutionized how we work and life are cloud computing and the Internet of Things, while offering incredible convenience and efficiency, but have also expanded the threat landscape and created unique new vulnerabilities. Securing them require a deep understanding of their inherent risks. The first one is in the cloud, freedom with a great responsibility. Cloud computing has enabled business to scale rapidly and access data from anywhere. However, the biggest risk of often don't stem from weaknesses in the provider's infrastructure, but from the misconfiguration. And the second one is in the Internet of Things, billion of new gateway for attacker. Today, there are over 15 billion IoT device connected to the internet, from smart camera in home to sensor in industrial factories. The problem is many of these devices were designed with a focus on low cost and ease of use, not security. They often have weak or default password, cannot be patched, and run outdated software. Okay, and of course, we have to talk about AI security. This is a double-edged sword. The AI arms race in cybersecurity. There is a double-edged sword and future threat. No discussion of modern security is complete without addressing artificial intelligence. AI is no longer a sci-fi concept. It has become the new battlefield, a transformative force that acts as a double-edged sword. On one hand, it provides us with the most advanced shield imaginable. On the other, it creates offensive weapon we have never had to contend with before. The first one is the AI shield. There is an intelligent and autonomous device. On the defensive side, AI has evolutionized how we detect threats. AI-powered tool like a dark trace function is as a digital immunity system for a company network. Instead of relying solely on a database of known virus, AI can analyze vast amount of data, such as network traffic and use behavior in real time to identify subtle anomalies that might signify an attack. The second one is the EI sword. That is a smarter and more deceptive attack. However, attackers are also leveraging AI to create for more sophisticated and hard to detect threat that, for example, is deepfakes. AI can generate highly realistic fake video or audio. Imagine a finance manager receiving a video call from the CIO, urgently authorizing a wire transfer. This treat bypasses a traditional verification and exploit human trust and a deeply personal level. And automated phishing campaign. AI can be used to craft hyper-personalized phishing email on a massive scale. By analyzing data from social media and other sources, AI can generate messages that are incredibly relevant and convincing, making them nearly indistinguishable from legitimate communication. And the next in the horizon threat, there is a quantum computing beyond current AI. We face an existential future threat. There is a quantum computing. While still in its early stage, a mature quantum computer has the potential to break the mathematical problem that form the foundation of most of the encryption we use today, like RSA. Okay, next is navigating the global maze of cybersecurity regulation. That is from obligation to trust. In our connected digital area, our organization no longer operate in a vacuum. Data flow across border of the speed of light and rule governing this data are becoming increasingly complex. Navigating the landscape of a global cybersecurity regulation is no longer just a task for the legal department. It has become crucial component of any business strategy and risk management. Let's dissect some of the most influential regulations shaping how we protect data. The first one is GDPR, the gold standard for data privacy. The European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, has set the global benchmark for data privacy. It's not just a set of rules, it's a paradigm shift in who own personal data and how that data can be used. And second one is CCPA or CPRA. There is a consumer right at the forefront. The California Consumer Privacy Act, that is a CCPA, law strengthened by the California Privacy Right Act or CPRA, is in the American answer to GDPR. While its focus is slightly different, the intent is the same, to give individuals more control over their personal data. And the next is sector specific regulation, HIPAA and PCI DSS. Beyond all encompassing regulation, there are also strict standards for a specific sector where data carries an exceptionally high level of sensitivity. HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. This regulation is protecting health information or PII in the United States. A breach of medical data doesn't just result in financial penalties. It also poses several risks to patients, such as identified theft, discrimination, and social stigma. NPCI-DSS, Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. This is not a federal law, but the mandatory standard set by the payment card industry, like a Visa, MasterCard, and Edge. Any organization that store, process, or transmit payment card data must comply. Failure to do so doesn't just result in fines, but also the potential revocation of the ability to process card payment, an essential threat to most retail and e-commerce business. Where back the human element, how do we maximize the impact of user activity? Many programs fail because the content into generic and session are frequent. Effective training must use simulated phishing exercise to create realistic scenario and increase vigilance. Incorporate gamified learning to boost engagement and retention. Develop role-specific module tailored to a user job function and measure success, practicing click-through rates and reporting frequency. Okay, understanding truth is the first step, but it's a real action that create a difference. Here is a list of proven effective action you can start talking today to strengthen your digital defense, both on an individual and an organization. Part one is action for everyone, individual or employee. There are the fundamental steps that form the foundation of your personal and professional security. And then the first one is enable multi-factor authentication. The second one is regularly update device and software. Don't ignore update notification. And the third one is review and tighten privacy setting on social media. Every piece of information you should publish on social media is intelligent that the data that an attacker can use. The second one is action for organization that leader and team. These are strategic steps that build a resilient and adaptive organization defense. The first one is schedule annual security audit to identify emerging threat. Don't wait for an incident to discover your weaknesses. The next is conduct a threat modeling to proactively anticipate risk. This is a more advanced step than a simple audit. And the next is invest in ongoing cybersecurity training. Threats are constantly evolving, and employee knowledge will become outdated if not refreshed. Security training is not a one-year event. It must be continuous program that include regular phishing simulation, short course on latest threat, and constant communication to keep awareness to top of mind. Finally, there are many essential resources to strengthen your device. Use tool, learning, and news. Okay, that conclude our overview cybersecurity essential. Remember, cybersecurity is a product you can buy. It's a process and culture must build together. Thank you for your time and attention. I would now be happy to open a floor and thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation, Dr. Migunani. And before I close this event, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of three for documentation. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for your team cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of webinar today. We would like to thank you for our speaker for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for all participants. At least we hope to have our collaboration in the future. The webinar for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you and